Hey guys, so today I'm going to take you through my bookshelf, particularly these books here. So these are just like my books, my like fiction. Well, it's fiction and nonfiction, but these are like the ones that I have that aren't my Christian books. I don't know why that was like very hard to explain. Anyway, let me take you through it. So first, I just want to say I have this journal here, and this is my reading journal. I haven't really put anything in here. There were some like discussion questions in a previous book that I was listening to, so that made me decide to like write it down. But I'm hoping to use this just to kind of like jot down the books that I've read throughout the month, and then maybe a little bit of like what I thought of them, or just if anything sticks out to me. I definitely don't intend on it being like a super pretty reading journal with pictures and stuff. I'm just gonna be jotting down stuff, literally. So, yeah, let me show you guys the first three books. These are all gift books. Like, just like books that come with gifts. I don't even know where you can find these, but there's this one that says to a very special friend. Um, they're like just short sayings, like quotes, and I don't know if there's any like proverbs in here. There's that. This one is called Friendship in Bloom. Let's see. It has really beautiful like pictures of flowers and stuff. Also just quotes and stuff. And this one is called A Cup of Friendship. It has like recipes for tea and like little short stories about like just different experiences. Um, but like revolving around like, oh, me and my friend, we got together and we had tea and then this thing happened. Um, yeah, there's cute like quotes. There are some scripture verses in here. Well, at least, no, there's more than one. So yeah, this one I actually do recommend if you can find it. It's called A Cup of Friendship. It's a gift book for all seasons, it says, but it's like it's just really good. Like it's kind of just a little encouraging thing to read when you're down. Again, of course, like we are encouraged through the Word of God, but it's just like a cute, easy, simple book to read through, and I have found it to be very encouraging throughout the years. I have read it like quite a few times, so yeah. Can't remember how I put this in, but I think that's it. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go through this. There's actually another. Oops, I just dropped all of them. Hold on. There's actually another book too, but I'm reading it right now, so I think it's downstairs. This one you guys already saw in another video, Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, an American Slave. I do want to read this. I forgot to say that I will be saying which books I recommend, but I haven't read like all of the books here, so I'll also tell you if I haven't read it. Let me actually start from the bottom because it's easier to put it back. This book is called Round Robin by Jennifer Chiaverini. This is part of a series. So the first book is actually the one I'm reading now, and I'm rereading it, but it's called The Quilter's Apprentice. And let me see if I could do a summary on this. So it is about quilting, but it's historical fiction. So basically, this young couple ends up like working for this older lady. She's like in her 70s or 80s, I want to say, and she's planning on like selling this huge mansion that she used to live in. So basically, while she's working for her and giving her like quilting lessons, she's talking about the older lady is like talking about her past, and that is like really the most interesting part is hearing these like stories about experiences that she had in the past and how it kind of like also weaves in with historical fiction. But these books are really about like friendship and like life struggles, but it comes together through the quilting. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm not a quilter, and they're still interesting. I will say that her books are kind of like slow paced, so you kind of got to just like read more and more to really appreciate it, but it is kind of slow. So the Quilter's Apprentice is the first book. This is the second book, Round Robin. I have read this. Um, do I recommend these books? So I will say, for the most part, these books are like really cozy reads. And so, like, if you like historical fiction and if you're okay with like a bit of a slower pace, it's slow paced. It's not boring, but it's just like it's not a fast paced book. Like there's not all this action in it. But if you like stories about like friendships and just like everyday life situations, I do recommend it. Um, Round Robin actually, do you guys hear that? Anyway, Round Robin actually switches to like different points of view. Um, yeah, so it's like a whole group of people that are friends, and it's like different points of view, so you get to see each one of their lives. So I haven't like reread this at all, I don't think. So I kind of read this a while ago, but this one might be a little faster paced. It's pretty. There are like, so the first book that I'm reading, for instance, there are a couple of cuss words. There are I think like a couple of like sexual references, but there are no like bedroom scenes. In that first book especially is like relatively clean. No bedroom scenes, no like detailed, sexual like descriptions, but it's not entirely clean. That's what I will say. This one I don't remember, because as I'm rereading the first one, I was kind of like, oh, I didn't even remember that that was in there. So you could tell that it doesn't make up like a lot of the book or anything, but I do want to, let you know that it's not like entirely clean. I don't remember as far as like how clean this one is, but um, yeah, if it didn't stick with me, like I feel like that's good for me, but you might be different. So yeah, this is the second book in the series. I do like the series. I have read, because I think there's like 13 or more books in that series, and I want to say I've read at least 8. So, yeah. And then you guys remember, or you might remember if you watched the other videos, I already did a review on this. So, it's called The Go Giver. It's a business related book. It is fiction, and I gave it a 5-star rating. So, if you want to hear more about it, you can watch that video. This is the third book. It's called the Elm Creek Quilts series, by the way. This is the third book in the series. So I have the first 3 books. The rest of them I listened to on audio. I bought this one a while ago, and this was the first one I read. So I think for a lot of the books, you can actually read it out of order. You don't have to read the first one. Like, I read this one first, and I was hooked. But then I will say, I was like kind of confused when I read the other books as to why they were talking about these other characters and not the ones in this book. So I discovered that the ones in this book are not actually like the main characters. This one is probably still my favorite out of all the books that I've read in her series. I really, really love this one. It just has such a cozy, like, vibe. And like I said, it's really about like friendship, which I love. I don't remember if there's anything that is like not clean in here. I think, yeah, you could probably look it up to see, although I'm not sure like how much you'll find. I don't know how popular these books are, but yeah, I love this one. So if there's any book from the series that I recommend, if you're not going to read the entire series and you just want like one book out of there, then yes, the Cross Country Quilters. However, if you're wanting to read the series, I would recommend starting from the beginning, because that's where you're going to be introduced to the main characters, and that's how like everything really gets started. And so I feel like if you read the first book, you have so much more appreciation for like the other books. But and some of the books in her series are like they're talking about like the main character's relatives, like from a past time, so it's going back in time. And so I feel like you'll appreciate that more if you like start from the beginning, because then you'll actually want to know like, oh, whatever happened to like her cousin, or stuff like that. Anyway, obviously I like that series. These are from the Chronicles of Narnia series, The Horse and His Boy. Pretty sure I read this, I just don't remember. The Chronicles of Narnia series is good. So oh, I forgot to say, yes, I also recommend this one if you are an entrepreneur. The Chronicles of Narnia series, I would say, like, it's kind of hard for me to not. It's not that I entirely recommend it, in that I feel like it's just such a classic, like, it's just kind of worth reading, so go for it. And these are the rest. These are the ones I have. Actually, my sister let me have all of these. C.S. Lewis, Prince Caspian. The Silver Chair is really good. And these are like children's books, so keep that in mind. The language is going to be like more simplified. And then The Last Battle, really, really, really good. I don't think I've read all of the books in this series. I don't think I ever read the first book. Um, but if I was going to recommend one, it's probably between The Silver Chair and The Last Battle. They're both really good and compelling. Then we have this one. It is called Susannah's Garden. Okay, this book. So apparently this book is part of a series. I didn't know, and I feel like if I read the other books from the series, this book would probably be like it would make more sense, or yeah, I would appreciate it more. I did finish this entire book. This was like the first book that I read in the year. It says Susannah's Garden. I was expecting something kind of like just more like reflective, and it is kind of reflective, but boy oh boy, like there are some twists and turns in here. If you like reading like drama, I will tell you this book, there's drama in it, and to me it like escalated quickly, and it was just like a bunch of stuff that I wasn't expecting, and I didn't appreciate it at the time because I was like, oh my gosh, I thought I was reading like a calmer book. It wasn't what I wanted at the time, but now knowing that this is part of a series, I'm like, okay. Because I kind of rated it like a 3.5 stars, which is like not bad or anything. And I still kind of like it's a memorable book because of all the stuff that happened. But then also, I kind of felt like the ending was a little bit like rushed, like everything was just kind of resolved at the end, you know. But I mean, I'm not gonna say that it's a bad book. Overall, it was just very interesting. But I don't know if it's like my personal like style or preference or something that I would read a lot of. There might be, I don't remember any cussing in this, but I don't know. I read it towards the beginning of the year, so I've kind of forgotten. There were there were like maybe two or three scenes at the most that I was like I just kind of skipped it because I'm not sure if they went into detail or not. I just personally found it kind of like sensual, and so I just skipped it to avoid that. But yeah, you might want to read a little bit about this author though, because I believe she is a Christian, and I read something that said that she doesn't put like like graphic sexual details into her books because of that. So it's like one of those situations where it just like hints at that, but it doesn't like just go into detail. So those scenes, maybe they didn't. I just didn't feel like comfortable reading it, so I skipped it. But those are just like a few scenes in the book. Speaking of that kind of stuff, this one on the other hand is a little different. So um I'm not going to recommend this book. And it's your own like personal convictions and stuff too. It's called The Tea House on Mulberry Street, and I feel conflicted because I read this book when I was younger. I think I was a kid when I read it. Maybe I was a teenager, but anyway, I read it when I was younger, and I loved it. I just loved it. It has different point of views, so you get to hear about different characters, but like they're all kind of related to this tea house on Mulberry Street because you have the married couple who works there, right? And then all the people that we hear about in the book, like they come to this tea house, and you get to hear about their lives. I love that part. Like I will say that I really enjoyed the characters, and so I remembered like I remembered enjoying the book so much that I actually asked my mom to purchase the book for me. Beautiful hardcover book, right? And then I started reading it, and I was like, I didn't remember like certain scenes being in here. Um, I just felt like this one, as far as like more kind of like sexual scenes, I guess, are concerned, I just felt like this one had more of it, or is maybe a little bit more detailed. It's certainly not the whole book, and it might just be for a particular like character, like a particular point of view. But I kind of just feel like conflicted. So I haven't like tossed it to the side, but it's like, will I be comfortable reading this? And I don't know. And so I'm not really sure if I should try to read it, but it's there on my bookshelf. So yeah. Other than that, like I do feel like it's well written. Like I said, I really enjoyed the characters, but for that reason, because I wouldn't want to recommend a book that would also make you uncomfortable, I'm not going to recommend it. So yeah, just have a couple more books. Here's one. You guys saw this. If you watched it, you guys saw this on a previous video, Voice of Israel. I have not read it yet. Yeah. I want to read it though. But it's like, you know, history related stuff, nonfiction. So pretty straightforward. And then another book I haven't read yet, Dave Ramsey, The Total Money Makeover. But I think this book may be pretty helpful for me. It's a nice hardcover. I used to love like hardcover books. That's why I keep saying that. But I actually prefer paperback now when I'm actually reading stuff. And then the last book, you guys have seen this in another video, and if I post the video I'm thinking of posting, you'll see me read a little of this. It is a graphic design book that I got when I was in school. My eyes have been bothering me, so that's why I've actually been listening to like audiobooks. So that's the only reason that I haven't gotten through this one. I do enjoy this book. The text is like pretty brief, you know, because there's just like so many pictures and stuff. So if you are into art and graphic design, then I would say that this is a pretty good book, but I haven't finished it yet, so I don't really want to recommend a book that I haven't finished. But yeah, if you're into artsy stuff, I would maybe give it a try if you're wanting to like learn that, because keep in mind it is still like a textbook. But yeah, those are all of my just regular reading books that aren't Christian, and I hope that you guys enjoyed that, and I will talk to you soon.